Families, loved ones and friends of the 14 school children killed in that horror Vanderbijlpark crash on Monday will hold a memorial service in Sebokeng today. The minibus taxi they were travelling in collided with a side tipper truck after the driver attempted to overtake multiple vehicles. 12 of these pupils died on the scene. 2 others succumbed to their injuries in a hospital yesterday. The 22-year-old driver, Ayanda Dludla, faces 14 charges of murder. Newzroom Afrika's Sholwana joins us live from Sebokeng. Zola, and we can see the chairs lined up behind you, some people already arriving. One just cannot imagine the extent of the heartbreak there.
Well, yes, indeed, Michelle. I mean, we are talking about a car crash that has affected not only families, it has also affected the schooling community and, of course, the community surrounding. And we know that there's going to be quite a number of people that are gathering here, representatives from, religious organizations. We know that different departments will be part of this, and also, of course, community members that will be offering support to the bereaved families. We do know that the memorial service is expected to start at 11 o'clock. That is when families and friends of the 14 children that died in the car crash will be gathering here. And of course, we will have different speakers. We haven't seen the program yet. We will be able to, give details on who is expected to speak once we get to see the program. But let's get to speak to Gauteng Education spokesperson Steve Mabona. Steve, thank you very much for your time. I mean, these scholar transport incidents, reignite calls, where people would then ask the department, will there come a time where you are completely in control of the transportation of scholars as a department?
Thanks very much. It's a normal task to do that, taking cognizance that you have private arrangements between the operators and some parents. And you will know that policy dictate that if you are beyond 5-kilometer radius, we then have a responsibility. If there's no school in the area, we have a responsibility to transport. So it means then we need to go back to the policy and check on how you then rework, readjust, and find an explanation. Say, what is it that is going to give you credence to transport all the children that need to be transported. So it's something that might happen, but we'll really have to work hard to enforce it and make sure that no one goes beyond our parameters in terms of the policy.
I mean, you're mentioning that this is something that, might be a challenge, right? But what are you doing as a department to play your part in terms of ensuring the safety of your learners?
Look, you know that the public scholar transport that we manage, we had to introduce the coordinators, make sure that we do sporadic checks, make sure that the service level agreements are adhered to, manage. If we detect that there's something that is wrong, we don't even wait for the law enforcement agencies. We decide as officials, we are pulling out this transportation, talk to the owner, fix 1, 2, 3, and then we bring it back. So Premier is called for Department of Transport, Community Safety and Education. Come with a policy that is going to assist you to manage the private scholar transport operators. Know them, how they operate, who are they, where they're operating, do they have rules and regulations that are administering them on how they operate. Are you allowed to do wrong things? What is it that we are doing to make sure that people are not doing wrong things? So those are the things that we need to introduce, and we should be in a position to do that.
Let's speak about the issue of scholar transport that have decided to suspend their operations today. How has that affected the attendance of learners in many schools in Gauteng?
We must say yes, we are impacted in Lenasia. That's where they've shut down, and Vanderbijlpark. We are also impacted there. So we have low learner attendance today. And they are threatening that they will continue on Monday. We just want to say to them, they need to bear in mind that they are harming parents who are giving them bread. they are harming the future of their children, who they rely on a continuous basis to ferry, and then they get bread from. So you can't want to harm the very same child that you will going to go back and say, I'm back now. But the child will be looking at you and say, but you inconvenienced me yesterday. How are you harnessing that relationship? Do they expect parents and children to understand that? So the people need to be cautious when they take decisions. They might say, we're doing this, we are threatening, we want to push government to do certain things, but we can't allow a situation whereby there's anarchy. We allow vehicles that are actually coffins that are driving on the road, taking our children, to schools, and we are exposing them. If action is taken, then we are saying, no, we are doing this because of this incident that occurred. No, that process has been continuing. It's just that probably they were not doing it en masse in terms of the number of those that would be impounded, but that program has been happening. Department of Transport in Gauteng, they've been doing this work, and probably maybe the media has not been following. There was no attention. That's why they feel that they need to threaten in this fashion. But what they're doing is quite wrong.
Yeah. Before I let you go, Steve, just take us through what we should expect on today's program.
Today we're celebrating the lives of the 14 children that perished. We have different speakers that will be coming from the faith-based, religion, and we also have a government. We have families. We'll give them an opportunity to also celebrate the lives of their children, and we will then be preparing for a send-off joint funeral, which will be on Sunday. But we know that there are some families that decided that they're going to continue with their programs, tomorrow, which is Saturday. That's why we've decided to start a little bit earlier so that we can release them.
Thank you very much for your time. Gauteng Education spokesperson Steve Mabona there, giving us highlights on what is expected to happen today, and also getting to touch on a burning issue that came up about 3 days ago when this accident happened, where people were asking, will there come a time where the Gauteng Department of Education will take full control of the learner transport system to perhaps mitigate these kind of incidents that we have been seeing happening, Michelle? I mean, about last year, 15 children, died also in a car crash in Forgeville. And of course, we are talking about lives that are lost there. So we are expecting the program to start in just over an hour from now. If everything starts on time, as soon as it begins, we will, of course, inform you. Back to you in studio.
Zola, Sholwana, thanks very much indeed. And that memorial service gets underway at 11 o'clock this morning. Once it begins, we will take you there live.